What's up, y'all? Atlas the Audi Tech here, and today I will be showing you how to remove your cluster on your 1993 Audi S4. This should apply to your 92 through your 95 S4s as well as your S6s as well. Same thing. All right, so we're inside the car here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to look under the shelf of the cluster, and you're going to look under here, and then there's going to be a Phillips head right here, and then there's also going to be one over here in this corner as well. You're going to want to take those out. All right, so once you take those two bolts out, you're going to pull this shelf here off. Now, there's kind of a trick with this. So you're going to want to pull this forward. And once you pull this forward, you're going to want to slide it out this way. So you're going to want to slowly kind of move it out. And the reason why you want to do that is because there is a pin that latches on into here. So once you clear that little pin right there, if it'll focus, there you go, that little pin right there, you can go ahead and take the whole thing out. All right, so now that we got that shelf out of the way, we are looking at 3 Phillips head screws. There's one here, one over here under your gas, and one over here in the very furthest corner. So once you take those 3 out, then you'll be able to start to slowly wiggle this out. Now, I'll probably have to put my camera down to do this, but essentially you want to be able to clear this tab over your AC vents. And for some of them that are really stuck, you might want to pull this forward a little bit just so you can give yourself some slack up top, and then slide a plastic trim tool in here and then help you pull it out all around. All right, so now I have it slid out over and sitting on top of where the shelf is. Now, I did find that it is a little easier to get this side out first, and then you can kind of slide it out. Now, before we move on, what you're gonna wanna do is, of course, this is your steering column. You're gonna wanna make sure that you cover this up with something just so that way you don't scratch it. So we're gonna do that next, and then I might fast forward to unplugging all of the connectors, because some of the connectors you're gonna need 2 hands. Some of them are awkward, so I'll try to show those to you once the cluster is out of the car. All right, so this is a look at the back of the cluster just while it's unplugged. So as you can see, you're gonna have to unplug all of these connected wires, but luckily they're very easy. It's hard to get these mixed up. All right, so now before I get into the nitty gritty of all of the bulbs, because the objective, at least for me personally, is to get to some bulbs that I mixed up. Now, I will say a lot of these are extremely simple. This red one right here, I'm holding the camera with one hand, so I can't point right now, but this one right here, there's a purple tab, as you can see right there. You're gonna have to pick that and pull it up, and then once you pull that purple part up, it'll come off with a little bit of force. You know, again, be gentle. The hardest one to get is this yellow one right here. You may need to use 2 picks. I used a flat head on one side on this corner right here, and then I was able to wedge my fingernail in between it, and then on the other side use the flat head to get it off completely. This one, this black one in the middle, is a pinch. You just pinch it, comes up. And then this green one over here is the same thing as the red one. There's a purple tab. You pull it up, and then you pull up on the connector, and then the whole thing comes out. The last thing is this relay. Some of us that are more used to the modern cars will be trying to look for a tab that you need to press. Well, no, you just pull this right out, and I would brace If I were you, I would brace this portion of it with your hand, so you know, pulling against it, and then pull off that top part of the relay, which comes off, which looks like that right there. All right, and then of course these are your bulbs for your airbag, check engine light, and seat belt indicator. All right, so now we have the cluster out of the vehicle here. Now you got two bolts, so you got both of these are T10s, so Torx 10s. And once you take those out, you'll be able to flip this whole cover up, and be warned, if you've never done it before or it's been a while, it might feel like it's stuck, but it is not stuck. You're just gonna have to wiggle it and then flip it up. All right, so this is with it open. So one of the reasons why it feels like it's stuck is because it has those connectors up here. And so remember, this is a very gentle material. So when you're going back together, pay attention to these small little details like this right here. If my camera will focus, there's a hairline crack right there. So you just want to make sure you have these bolts hand tight. Now, while you're in here, there is a diagram on Quattro World that tells you what bulb is which, but essentially all I'm doing for my personal reasons, I'm switching my auto check bulbs because I got the red and the yellow mixed up, as I've already removed mine before. So of course, installation when you're going back together will be the same, and there is a diagram on Quattro World, like I said, that explains what each of these bolts are. So thanks for tuning in to Atlas Audi Tech, and that's all for this episode. If y'all have any more questions, let me know, and have a good one.